Hello viewers, you're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we are broadcasting live from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. My name is Aliu Sister. Well, tonight we examine the ongoing electricity outages crisis affecting households, businesses, of course, schools, health facilities, and communities across the greater Banjul area. For many Gambians, this is no more or no longer mere and just inconvenience. Businesses are actually losing income, food is getting spoiled, students are struggling to study, health facilities are operating under difficult conditions, and of course, families are spending long hours without electricity. The situation is quite worrying, and joining me this week to help answer some of the questions as to why are we in this situation and what is being done to address the current crisis and the way forward, I have in the studio on my immediate right, I have Buba Baji, Communications Officer, National Water and Electricity Company, Nawec. Mr. Baji, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Alan.
And on my left, I have Sana Ture, who is the Director of Corporate Affairs and, of course, Director of Communications. Mr. Ture, good to have you on the program. Gentlemen, to start with, anyone of you can answer this question. Was this crisis a sudden event, or had Nawec actually, being aware of warning signs beforehand?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much, and good evening to all the viewers out there, especially to our valued customers and the Gambian population, and anybody watching us, wherever you are in the world, we're saying good evening. Yes, Ali, I would say yes, we did not see it this way, or we did not see that it will happen this way, but yes, because a month ago, or 1.5 months ago today, we did call a press conference to say there is something happening in some part of the world. It may affect us, and it have already affected us. So yes, we have anticipated that something would happen, but not to this magnitude. Yes.
Be specific. What is that exactly that you said is happening around the world?
Fine. Okay. We know the war did not leave anybody here. Okay. This Iran-America war or Iran war. I don't know which one to use. Okay. But let's say the war in Iran have affected the supply chain, both on our heavy-duty fuel, and then also when it comes to our spare parts coming in and out. It's also another thing. Also, it affected our neighbors, or not even our neighbors, but it affected our partners in the energy sector. Which if it affects our partners, then which means it have already affected us. But we saw it coming, but not in this magnitude. No.
And Mr. Ture, what's the current situation exactly?
Yeah. Good evening, listeners. We are grateful to be here at Nawec, to be engaged on this discussion today. Just to add on to what Buba has just said in terms of whether we have seen this coming. Like he did mention, we had a press conference on the 8th of April, precisely. In that press conference, we were quite very specific that something is happening in the world, which eventually may have impact on us. The fears around at that point in time, we had a lot of fears around, fuel supply disruption. We also had fears around general supplies of equipments and machineries, spare parts for that matter. But it was just a warning sign, because a week before that press conference, we had just a little glitch of outages, so that is why we called that press conference to say, look, something is happening in the world. And then we all need to take note of it. The impact may come. Let's just be aware, heads up. Following that, on the 8th, we came to a show at QTV here, the Good Morning show. Yeah. And again, we lamented the same, sentiment around to say, look, this is going to happen, but we just need to take note of it. So there was a lot of preparation around this. Nawec did a lot of preparation around this because our engines that were on standby, some of them were brought back on, so that we can have at least, if a contingency of a situation of this happen, then we can, But as you run engines, they also get into, you reach their maintenance hours.
Okay.
You know, specifically, we had 2 engines that got into their maintenance hours, and they went into maintenance mode. So as it is now, those engines are not available. You know, we had 2 other engines that had issues, and we were pushing very hard to ensure that they are fixed. You know, unfortunately, as we said, you know, the supply chain disruption in terms of spare parts, you know, would happen because we all know international shipping, both air and sea, there has been so many constraints around it. You know, so that affected some of our supplies. You know, but again, we are frantically moving to ensure that those engines are back. But like Buba said very rightly, we are working in a region, West African Power Pool. We are getting connectivity through the ONVG line, you know, and then we are also trading in electricity. So our partners we are buying electricity on that line. Okay, so you can see clearly the impact is not limited only in Gambia in terms of supply chain disruption, but it has also affected our neighbors, you know, our partners for that matter. We've seen that clearly some of our partners have fuel issue, you know, heavy fuel, which we do not have. As it stands now, clearly, we don't have any issue with fuel locally here. We have sufficient fuel in all our power stations. Our tanks are full, you know, because we've done that preparation, you know, for this. But if we don't have the engines on, you know, we'll not have consumption of heavy fuel.
Well, that makes it, I mean, if you have too much fuel in place, but, I mean, your generators are out of use. What's the purpose?
So basically, I can give you also a synopsis of how many generators are on, because we have 4 major power stations. 3 in Brikama. Well, in fact, we can say 5. The 5th one is a solar plant. You know, but in terms of thermal generation, we have 4 major power stations. 3 in Brikama, Brikama 1, Brikama 2, Brikama 3, and then Kotu. So Brikama 1 currently an engine is running there. So we have G1 running in Brikama 3.
Only one?
Yeah, one engine, and that's giving us 5 megawatt. We have Brikama 2 an engine running there, which is giving us 7 megawatt.
That's what Brikama 2? That's Watsila. Okay, how many megawatts?
7 megawatts.
7 megawatts.
So we have 2 engines in Brikama 3, which totals to 10 megawatt in terms of their installed capacity.
But at Brikama 3, how many are operating?
Currently, we have none operating there. You know, because G1 in Brikama 3 got into its maintenance mode, and then they are working on that to fix it. But G2 is down there at the moment. At Kotu Power Station, we had, just before this crisis, we had 2 engines, G7 and G5. G5 it finishes its maintenance on the 5th of April. It started operating. You know, we had 12 megawatt from that. But
that's
on the
G5. 12 megawatts.
12 megawatt. On the 15th of May, the engine was shut down because of technical issues. On the 15th of May. All right. For G7, it has gotten to its 24,000 hours running maintenance. You know, so that engine is also shut down at the moment for that maintenance process to happen. And that maintenance takes 8 weeks. They are already on that maintenance, so they've done 5 weeks, remaining another 3 weeks to go for that maintenance to be completed.
Yeah, it's good you mentioned this. I mean, you said we have Kotu, we have Brikama. As we speak at Kotu, G5, G6, G7, G8, and G9 are currently not producing power.
So Kotu currently we have non-producing power at the moment.
5 generators.
That's what I'm telling you. So we have G5, which has gotten a technical problem. It was running up to the 15th of May. It had a technical problem. That is what they are fixing at the moment, on the 15th of May. G7 has gotten into its 24,000 hours maintenance repair. You know, so they are doing that maintenance servicing for that one. For G8 and G6, they've not been operating for more than an year or so. They've not been more than 1 year or so. Those engines have not been since 2024, if I remember it correctly. You know, so those engines are not operating. But I mean, we are putting efforts now to bring back those engines. So we've done investment on them at the moment. However,
what sort of investment have you done on these generators?
So you know, power generation is very complex. And it's very, in terms of resource-wise, it takes huge amount of resources. You know, so when a generator is down and then you are bringing back that generator up, it's heavy expenditure in terms of spare parts. I can tell you G6 alone, would take more than 2 million euros to put that generator back on. You understand? Now, if you come to G8,
2 million.
2 million euros.
Okay, 2 million euros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then if you come to G6, sorry, G8,
okay,
which is also down at the moment. G6, the procurement is completed on the process. In total, it's costing 469,000 euros to fix that generator. We've done the procurement is all completed. The electrical spare parts.
When was this procurement done? Mr. Ba, you can always step in if you want.
No. I think I am
okay. Yeah, I just to let you know.
I understand. Yeah.
So when was this procurement done?
Yeah, so procurement is completed about 2 weeks ago. We have already got the electrical spares for this generator. Now we are working on the mechanical spares so that for those ones to come, and that they can.
But what I don't understand, why has it taken Nawec this long to make this procurement? Because I understand some of these generators, they have been down for several years. For example, G6 has been out of service for more than 2 years.
Yeah, that's what.
Although efforts are on to restore it.
Yeah.
Why has it taken Nawec almost 2 years, or even more than that, to have these generators in place?
Sometimes it's a business decision. You look at the business decision. So our installed capacity and available capacity that we want to make, and then this also comes in line with the country's energy electricity strategy that is in place. That Nawec should always have locally a generation capacity of half our peak period consumption, which is about 110. Which is our peak period consumption. So half of that, we need to have it as locally generated, okay? Now, if you count these generators that we are talking about, from Brikama 1, you have 5 megawatt. Watsila, 7 megawatt. Brikama 3, you have 10 megawatt there, okay? Then you come to G5, 12 megawatt. G7,
8.
No, don't talk about G8 for now. Let's talk about G7. So if you put G7 there, 6.4 megawatt.
Yeah, you said G7, 8 megawatts.
G7 is 6.4 megawatt.
Okay.
G5 is 12 megawatt, which is Birkamas. Sorry, Kotu Power Station. Then you go to the Birkamas. If you add that, you get your 55, clearly. Okay. You get your 55 megawatt, So we are, the policy strategy, the strategy says clearly, we need to have a generation capacity, local generation capacity of 55 megawatt. Okay. And if you count these generators that I have mentioned, you reach your 55 megawatt. But again, you look at the mixture. Generally, import is cheaper than local generation. Okay. Import is extremely cheaper than local generation.
And probably that was why Nawec sat down and said, okay, we have car power, we have Senelec, so we don't need to care about
not sat down.
Is that the case, Mr. Baji?
No, Nawec did not sat down. I think what Mr. Ture said, it's very important to understand that. You see, from 2023 coming down to 2024 to date, Nawec have spent huge amounts of money, millions, just to get these generators back. But you see, sometimes these generators, Aliu, it's not a matter of today you have 100 million, tomorrow you fix this generator. No. You give us 1 billion today, those generators down, they will not work in the next 2 months because it will require a lot of procurement, it requires a lot of technical issues that you need to fix before you get there. But Nawec did not relax because Carpool was here or we are buying energy from foreign. No. These generators were there. As he said, initially you have Brikama 2 generators. They were running. But you sometimes don't even need to bring them on. If already you have imported power, they are there, you reserve them. That's what you do with thermal. Now, you reserve them because it's very expensive when we are going to run. If we continue not buying from away, from our OMV or WAP, we want to use only our internal generation. I'm telling you, we cannot even sell electricity at 13.8. We will be selling at 26 or 27 dollars. Okay. So this is giving us that leverage to be able to give that cheaper rate to our citizens. Okay, and then also, as I said, what happened, this could have happened just like few days. But it's coincided with a bigger problem.
What is the problem?
The bigger problem, no, that's what the bigger problem, the bigger picture is, it's like, I have a problem, you have a problem, we all have a problem together, and we are collaborating to help each other. Now, what do? We need to strategize. Now, that strategize is what we are doing. Presently, what we have is such sustenance it cannot meet the demand of the population.
You said collaborating.
Yes.
Who and who were collaborating here?
It was, we were collaborating through the OMVG network.
Okay.
Yes. We have EDG, we have WAP, we have, all of us are under the OMVG. OMVG is here as the chief, how do I call it? It's the custodian. We are all answerable to OMVG, but they, like he said, we trade among ourselves.
I want to know from you, because I understand as we speak, OMVG is not yet directly supplying power to the Gambia. Rather, it is Senegal that is currently using the OMVG transmission to export power into the Gambia.
Yeah, okay. So I think we just need to get some clarification around this, just for the population of the Gambia to really understand how this transaction works in terms of trading energy. And worldwide, this is not only West Africa. When you say a West Africa power pool, West Africa Power Pool has been created, it's a platform created, to enhance this energy trade transaction within West African countries. Okay, so the line that is built, OMVG built this line, and this line interconnect countries. Okay, now if I produce, I have excess, I can put it on this line, and then whoever want to buy it can buy it, and get it through. Okay, OMVG have this line. They constructed the infrastructure, but countries that can produce electricity, Gambia can equally produce, and we produce a lot that we don't need, that excess, we can trade it on that line. So countries can buy it from us, So that is the same way that we have other countries that have surplus and they put it on that line, and we are buying from them. Senegal is part of that, but it's not only Senegal. So when people always say Senegal, it's not Senegal alone. And the biggest chunk of energy we buy, if you look at our annual, purchase of energy, it comes from EDG. EDG is electricity dejene, So this is the
Since when? Because the last time I checked, you signed a contract with Senelec well before OMVG was launched.
Yeah. Yes. So after we signed the contract, then it was followed. EDG, then we signed also another contract with EDG too. So EDG have a double advantage if you look at this. They have thermal, but they also have a dam. And dam is extremely cheaper to get electricity. In terms of getting electricity from dam is very cheaper, it's far cheaper compared to thermal. And rainy season is when we get that huge benefit, from EDG. So that's why, and they generate surplus. So they put it through the line, we buy it at a cheaper rate.
So as we speak, how much are we getting from the energy imports?
Yeah. So energy import as it stands at the moment, would be about 50% of our energy, total energy need,
So how much has been reduced because of
the However, 50% of total energy. However, if they have surplus that we can buy out of the contract even, we get it still. Because like I said,
as we speak, how much has been reduced from that import that we are getting from Senegal and OMVG?
It varies.
It varies. It fluctuates.
Give us figures.
And then let me tell you, it varies in the sense that during the daytime, what we can get may be different from during the peak time in the night. Now it is much hotter in the night. Night is considered to be the peak. At the peak period, we may get up to 40 megawatt, from import. But during the daytime, when it is not that busy, we can get up to 70 megawatt, from import. So if you get that, plus your local consumption, you can meet the demand easily, But during the night becomes a big problem because that is the peak period. And when we get 40, currently we have few generators running. If you add it, we don't get to the peak period demand, which is 110 megawatt.
You're talking about few generators. How many generators? Maybe so two like out of almost 9.
So if no.
I think
so. The generators. No, Ali. Let me tell you. No. Go, allow me to just land. So we have Brikama 1 running. I told you that's 5 megawatt.
Yes,
it's running.
Yeah.
Even today, you call it's running. Okay. We have what's still running is 7 megawatt. Now these are the two that we have. That is 12 megawatt. From our generators at the moment. The next ones, generators that could potentially run is Kotu Power Station, G5 and G7.
It's not running at the moment.
But if you look at it, it's a technical problem.
And when you look what these two generators are producing is 12 megawatts, telling us that it's not enough.
Plus the solar.
But it's still not enough.
Yes, I'm not saying it's enough. I'm just telling you it's close to solar.
It's still not enough.
But what I'm saying is that even if we use only the generators we have in the Gambia here, we operate those ones, it won't be enough. Our demand is 110 at peak period. If you add all these generators, it's just giving you 55.
Yes,
you know,
if all of them are on.
So it's not enough. That is why we have to buy abroad, you know, yeah, to cover the gap. That's why we have to buy. So currently,
so tell us, with all this, most of these generators down at the moment, when are you going to have them back?
Okay, so a very good question. G5 work is going on.
Yeah.
What is I told you it has finished its 8,000 hours run. Then it came on April 5th. You know, the generator came on, but it developed fault on the 15th of May. They are working. As we speak, work is going on frantically on it to ensure that it comes back. But we hope that, we are very hopeful that if we can fix it this week, hopefully next week that generator will come back on. You know, I'm giving this because, you know, we came here on the 8th of April. In QTV here. That time we don't have any of these generators running as such. And we made a commitment that we will get the generators back on. Then we brought G1 in Bikama 1 back on. G7, Watsila in Bikama 2 came on. And then we had G5 running, you know. We then got this trouble where G5 went out. G5 is 12 megawatt. If it comes in, it's going to be a game changer in the whole thing. You know, so that's why we are pushing frantically to ensure that G5 comes in ASAP. So if it is not available this week, we are very hopeful that we will receive the part, you know, that is damaged, and they will install it by, say, next week.
From all this, all what is happening, Mr. Baji, I mean, you work at Nawec. Do you think as a country, as an independent country, it's safe for us to continue feeling so comfortable that we have to depend maybe on Senegal or MVG rather for our energy supply as an independent country?
Okay.
How serious is this?
Okay. Let me see. This is where the discussion is all about. Yeah. How serious are we? We are very serious. Aliu, the world, not Gambia. Gambia is not an island. Gambia is a sovereign state, and then energy security is very important, which we are very aware of. But what we are telling you is the roadmap. There's an electricity strategic roadmap that was rolled out in 2018. And then in that roadmap, we all agreed, which consultations were made. And then we agreed that 50% of at least energy being consumed should come from the Gambia. The rest, we will. And then remember, OMVG was not formed today. And the reason why OMVG was formed is for this type of issues, for us to be able to trade. What I will always say is electricity is like the way we are getting rice and sugar and other commodities. It's a tradable commodity that is you can buy from anywhere.
But rather we are not trading.
That we
are not trading. We are only buying.
No. That is the short term. Wait, let me come. That is why we have the short term. The long term we will trade.
We are paying millions. We are
well,
paying
even
millions.
Buying is trading.
Yes, but in this case, we are paying millions of dollars to Senelec, and the same was with Kapos.
Can I come there?
So one will say, with all these millions being spent to pay Senelec and of course Car Power, could have been spent to repair our generators.
But you are getting that millions. You are not getting that millions after consumption. That is when you collect. You are taking the energy here, supply it to you, the consumer. You pay and we pay. That's how the millions are going. That's why I say it's a trade. It's not like millions are lying down, pick them and dump them. No.
But in addition to the thermal aspect that we are saying, or the trade aspect of it, you know, locally here, if you look at it, we have some solar plant in Jambur, you know, which is giving us 23 megawatts. 23 megawatts. You know, so we need to factor that in the equation. Okay, that's a huge chunk. Okay, but apart from that, you know, other projects are coming up that are developed. So we have a 150 megawatt solar plant in Jarasoma, starting with 50 megawatt force. That tender is at negotiation stage now. You know, once negotiation is over, we'll get that contract signed for them to build that solar plant. So you can see, when you said how seriously Gambia should take this in terms of energy, you know, we are very serious on the and we are on the path. You know, if you have 23 megawatt solar plant, which is currently operating, you know, and then you have 150 megawatt of solar plant That is on the, very soon we are getting to the contracting stage for that, for construction stage, start. To begin with 50 megawatt. I think that's a step in the right direction. Add those ones, figures, plus these generators. You can see we are even going to surpass our local generation of 110 at peak period. You know, we are even going to surpass that. So we are quite very serious at Nawec, and we are pushing very hard. This issue that happens is a very temporary situation. You know, we were caught in it.
But causing so much havoc.
Yeah, yes, it does, and we have a lot of our sincere apology goes out to our customers on this, because yes, it caused so much havoc. Our sincere apology goes to them. It is not intentional, it is not deliberate, you know, but it is a situation beyond our control. So that is why we are asking them, you know, that we apologize sincerely, you know, that we are fixing this. Let them bear with us. It's a short period. So if you look at the last interview our MD did, he mentioned that, you know, it's likely that we can get this resolved by mid of June.
Likely is not certain.
You know,
we can likely is not certain.
The certainty is the highest.
Okay. Yeah.
No, for this, the certainty is very high. Okay. You know,
but away from that, I mean, I have spoken to so many people who complain that, I mean, they do stay almost like 23 hours, 24 hours without electricity. At some point, you issued a press release and said, you know, it's going to be rotational. I want to know, how do you determine which area gets electricity this day and at what time?
Okay.
Who makes the decision?
Okay, no, you see, in situations like this, when the demand gap is too big, like we have 40 megawatts, for instance, as it stands today. Let's say we have 40 megawatts. Okay. Now, in the peak period, we have 40 megawatts. When we are supposed to, for everybody to have, you need about 105, 110. Yeah. Now you have 40. Now, what you do first is the priority is first given to essential services, like number one, hospitals. Okay. That's why we don't switch them off. Okay. No hospital will claim that Nawec have taken me down. Okay. Unless if you have an internal problem, yes. And then boreholes. Sometimes, in certain cases, some of our boreholes will go for a few hours.
But they also the Brikama was off. Brikama
no, it was not.
It wasn't.
I don't so. Because immediately it was done. Yeah. When I saw it, I personally went and checked. Okay, with the operator at Jaju, I agreed to him, is at the base at Brikama base. We went and made their own breaker have a problem. And this was fixed and then returned. This was not like Nawec switch of Brikama Health Center. We don't. Even during the, before the Tobaski, few days, our director said, look, give priority to markets. Okay. And that was also done because we know markets were busy. All the big markets were given priority with electricity. Okay. And there is no particular place saying, we are leaving priority to these people. No particular people or persons have that saying we are this area, we will not switch you off. No. When it is time to go, you go. Yes, some may have, like what happened, because when you say 24 hours or 3 days, I will think of Sinchu, because that's where the complaint came up. Okay. For Sinchu, they think it is Nawec that off.
Brusubi also, some part of Brusubi also.
Yes, no, I'm coming. Sinchu, yes.
Manjai also. You know, when they say you see complaints.
No, I'm coming, yes. But for Sinchu, their transformer got a problem. Yeah. By the time we know it's already 2 days. We fix it and it is there. They can attest to that. Yeah. All right? Yeah. Brusubi, yes, is under the Bakote feeder. It's one of the Bakote Manjai Triangle, it's one of the big feeders. In fact, I remember a particular staff in Bakote feeder crying, saying, what did we do? Yeah. You know. Yeah.
So I think in addition to what Buba said, yes, we have heard of these complaints, and then you know we've looked into some of these complaints to see how best we can address them. What we have said is this. Yes, a lot of an extensive load outage is happening in several places, but no particular place should go more than 12 hours. That's what we said. Yeah. Now, 10, 12 hours, you shouldn't go out. However, it is happening. And sometimes why we have that is, you know, you may also have a technical fault to a line. That goes with the load shedding thing. And then when you do not really diagnose that technical problem earlier, then you have an extensive outage beyond. You know, however, I think our technicians, we are pushing on that area so that our technicians can take note of that. And even we are on this platform, we can tell our customers, if any area goes more than 12 hours, they should contact our customer service call center through the toll-free number.
How responsive is the customer?
Well, through the toll-free number 1669. They should contact them.
They are active 24 hours?
Yeah, they are active 24 hours.
1669.
Yeah.
1669.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So when you contact them and report that your area is out for more than 12 hours, then they will ensure that this is investigated. If it is not related to load shedding, it relates to a technical fault, they will go out and fix that technical fault. So we want to put that message across to our customers to take note of that. You know, yes, in some areas, even our own staff, I'm telling you, even our own staff, you know, complain that they have extensive outage in their areas, you know. And like Buba said, the big feeders, Manjai feeder, you know, Bakote feeder, when we get instruction to reduce our consumption, you know, our take.
Hello? Well, I'm calling Nawec'S 1669. Yeah. All right, this is QTV. This is QTV. I was just trying to confirm something. Thank you so much.
QTV, Jakaria speaking. Can I help you?
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Jakaria. You can proceed.
Yeah.
I was trying to confirm.
Exactly.
Because we have many of these toll-free numbers. You call them, no one talks, no one picks.
I'm glad that they pick. So now it's proof beyond reasonable doubt, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what we have. Let them contact this toll-free number, and then they will die. But big feeders like Buba, what Buba mentioned, you know, the Bakotes, the Manjais, they are big feeders. But again, we are coming up with see how best we can resolve issues for this. When we are most of the requests we get from our partners are very spontaneous requests that you need to reduce the load this amount. So the moment our guys go there, they just get these big feeders quickly so that they can stabilize. If they don't, the whole network for WAP would be destabilized, and we cannot afford that. So that's why they will take the big feeders. But again, we are telling them that they need to look at this to see how best, you know, they can systematically get these ones on board and take other feeders that commensurate cumulatively commensurate to that load. You know, because they are heavy consumers.
So I want to know, Mr. Baji, what is the difference? Because I mean, you speak to some people in the province, and they tell you, well, we have no problem with electricity.
Yes.
Why? Why is that the case?
Okay. Perhaps you know the whole of the
where are they getting their source from? We need to know so that we can also get
or we transfer to rural areas.
So you want to know?
It isn't because I remember day before yesterday talking to someone in Janjambur. I said, I'm funding my children. I have no light myself. And he said, well, me, I don't think. I think. Where are you? I said, I'm in Sukuta. I said, well, here we don't. I'm here since morning, but light didn't go. I said, yes. Yeah. So, okay, you look at the load in that area also, it counts. Perhaps the whole of cutting it from, if you open the jumper in Bataboot, going down there, not more than 6-7 megawatts or 8 megawatts. So, it's very easy for them to be able to, they will not have the problem. That's why we said the problem is within the GBA. Yeah. Even West Coast. Yeah.
With the current, electricity access across the country, credit to the government, can I say we are also going faster than we should?
No.
No.
I think we are okay. Access is so important. Electricity is a universal right. If you look at it at the moment, it's one of the basic needs that need to be fulfilled, and it's for everybody. You know, so that's why wherever you are in every corner of the Gambia, yes, electricity should be available. Now, if you look at it, like we said,
I'm talking about currently in relation to generation.
No, but
yes, I can have access to electricity, but if generation is not there,
look at it. We have separated. If you look at rural areas, they're having electricity at the moment. Okay, like I said earlier, the supply is mainly affecting this part of the Gambia, which is the Greater Banjul and West Coast region. Okay. So I mean, the rural areas have no impact on this.
That's why I didn't say across the country. I said in the Greater Banjul area, just to be specific.
Exactly.
Because it's important,
If you look at it all throughout, you know, we have this connectivity extended to the rural areas. It has always been stable there, you know. This time, the issue we have is limited to only Greater Banjul area, you know, and the West Coast region. Has no impact on the rural area. So we cannot say the access is a problem, because the access is mainly relating to the rural areas.
Okay.
You know,
I think if I want to comment, what Alu, perhaps the point Alu think, they say that we move faster than the generation. You see, these are components. You see, the electricity access project is a component. These are donor-funded projects. You know, access to electricity, even if it is 1 hour, is a right. It's a fundamental right.
Yeah.
And then universally, it's going to be 2030. That is set aside for everybody to have electricity access in the world. But the Gambia, with the help of the government, we've cut it down to, the government have cut it down to 2026 to say by December, everybody must have electricity, access to electricity. Now, you have access to electricity, that is one thing. All right. And then a lot of funding have been done towards that, and which that's why we are achieving. And but as I said, a lot of funding have also been done within the generation department to bring that. But the generation department, you see, those works would be not faster like faster than the fast like how the access projects are, because imagine digging poles, you know, putting the cables here and there. That's another level. But when it comes to these machines, come on, a machine the size of this building, it's huge. You're thinking of those things. So thermal is not an easy thing. That is why the shift, part of the shift of development is going into green energy, which Gambia is not left behind. That's, as Mr. Ture rightly said.
That's the future.
Imagine our 150 park. That's why our MD said in one of the interviews that by the next 2-3 years to come, Gambia can also export electricity. Some will say, look at them, because today we don't have. But this is a temporal problem, and then what is happening now, we're trying to fix it.
What is the key thing we should learn from this, Mr. Ture?
Well, the key thing we should learn is we need to have a diverse source of energy, and which we are working on at the moment, having that diverse source of energy, so that anytime this happens, you know, we, as a country, we have sufficient energy to cover electricity to cover the position. You know, however, like I said, you know, we are doing every effort. That's why I gave you the statistics of, you know, the numbers, so that we can put it together, right from what we have currently locally, and then what we are anticipating in terms of getting, you know, the plan one, that is the solar park. 150, which will go 50 megawatt. So we need to get something sufficient in the country here, you know. But again, even in terms of energy trade, you know, electricity trade, you know, the line that is the West African Power Pool, the OMVG line, you know, how do we connect even other countries, you know, tap from other countries, like Ivory Coast, you know, there is a possibility that we can get electricity from them.
But why is it that as we speak, we are not getting direct electricity from OMVG, but rather having Senegal to export to the Gambia?
No.
Am I wrong here?
Yes.
Help me understand.
Let me help you how this thing works.
Help me understand.
You see, OMVG, the infrastructure where this energy is going through is all done by OMVG. That's why even they'll take the OMVG substation in Jarasoma, you know, that was inaugurated. You have another one in Brikama. You see, those centers are all built by OMVG. Now, OMVG is a these are member states.
Guinea, Conakry, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, and Senegal.
Which His Excellency President Barrow is the president of OMVG today. You understand? A High Commissioner been Demba Jallow.
Which is inaugurated together with Macky Sall.
Thank you very much.
Imbalo.
Now, if Senegal have excess, Guinea have excess, they are going to sell electricity. It comes through the OMVG line. You understand? It's the OMVG line that will bring that power to us. And remember, it's not only like we are just here collecting. In fact, we collect electricity from, we buy electricity from these regional bodies through the OMVG, but also we are using also now with our neighbors in Senegal here, we transport the electricity. For them, if you put Brikama today, if Brikama is off, Siliti is off, because they are connected here. If you off Ker Ayub and other places, you know, if you off Soma, you off Ker Ayub, because we are connected.
Mr. Baji, I want to understand.
Yes.
This is a sub-regional project.
Yes.
Which Gambia is part of.
Absolutely.
Why are we buying from Senegal or other countries?
Can I help?
Yes.
Please, I want to know. Why are we buying from them and we are not selling?
Okay. We are not?
Are we selling?
No. At our level now, we cannot. You cannot sell what you don't have. That's why you are saying, in the short term, we are buying.
From where?
We are buying from both to the AMVG, we are buying from EDG, and we are buying from Senelec.
So what happened? Why are we buying from Senelec? Why can't we get it our own? Because we are part of the project.
No.
So why
Okay, can I? So let me help you.
That's the point we are missing.
Let me help you here.
Yeah, I get your point.
Aliu. So what happens is OMVG constructed this line, and the project itself, OMVG, they are also building their own power station, a dam in Sambangalo.
Sambangalo, yeah.
So that is not ready yet, but the line is ready.
Okay.
The line is ready. If you look at it, these countries, Senegal and Guinea, at their country levels, they have sufficient power that they produce, and they have excess. The window is open since they are member countries, and the OMVG line is all of us. It's for all of us, Then this line is open to any country that have surplus can pass this surplus through, so that countries that need power can buy it. So it is not an OMVG power from Senegal. Senegal owns this. Or Guinea owns this, whatever surplus they have. So they are selling it. It's basic like this. If Gambia also can generate sufficient, they can also pass it through this line.
We're buying from Senegal.
Another country can buy.
How much are we owing Senegal at the moment?
Okay, very good. You see, I know this is, I'll be surprised if you didn't ask me until I leave this time.
How much are we owing?
No, I may not be able to give you the specific, but what I can tell you is.
But we are owing.
No. You see, if you allow me to land, I will come. In any trade.
We're running out of time. Are we owing?
In any trade, we will owe. In any trade.
Mr. Baji, is it yes or no? Are you owing Senegal?
We are owing Senegal, but it have nothing to do with the problem we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if you want me to cut the story short,
okay.
Very good. It doesn't have anything to do with it, not an iota of it, on a truthful way. But what I'm telling you is what people need to understand, or you and I, and anybody listening, is, you see, the moment you're giving me supply, like the boy puller who goes to the market, get the bag of granite, come put it on the wheelbarrow, sell it. When the bag is finished, you go back, pay, and collect. Between the time you took the energy supply and supply to the people, and they use it until when they pay, you go back and pay. The in between, that is a debt. So if I tell you we don't owe, no, we owe. But what I want to put across is it doesn't affect anything.
But in the event that you don't settle these debts, they have the right to say, okay, we are also cutting our supply to the Gambia.
We have insurance guarantees.
That's a guarantee.
Okay.
Guarantees are in place.
There are things. Yes, I think
so guarantees are in place.
That's a big guarantee.
You cannot just because we have guarantees. You see, this trade is done in a way that it is very secure.
Okay.
So guarantees are in place. And then they will call on that guarantee first before they can go and disconnect. No, the transaction, and these are mature transactions, so they cannot just do anyhow. At
some point, Kapa was one of the institution or the place where you import energy. Yeah. The contract was terminated because you perceive or considered expensive. When you look at what is happening today, will you say that was a wrong decision to terminate the contract?
No, it isn't. Absolutely not. And I can even help you that. You see, car power, the total supply of car power all along from 2018 to until it left the source of this country, it's not more than 30 megawatt. It's 27, 28, 29, 30. If they were even here today, with this problem today, we'll go to the same load setting.
Really?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it's 30 megawatt.
Absolutely. You see, it's not about, this is the fact. It's out there. We all know. Check what gas power was supplying. It's 30. Maximum what they can give us was 30. All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe that was what you needed at the time.
No, not that we know. No. It's not about what we need. We told you already what we need. Okay. Even when car power was here, before car power leave, we were already buying electricity from outside.
And car power, the supply is limited only within GBA.
GBA.
It do not get into the Brikamas West Coast region. So that's the thing.
Earlier on, you talk about the issue of spare parts that are needed to repair most of these generators. I understand at some point, Nawec entered into an agreement with Unique Energy Solution to kind of help improve in the spare parts procurement and maintenance support. What happened?
O&M. We call it O&M contract.
Yes.
Yep. So the contract.
Why is it that still they are not spare parts? Why is it taking you years to import or to procure spare parts?
So
as important as energy is, as important as it is to make sure your generators are always on standby. Yeah. In an event like this?
So the O&M contract only covers a number of generators, and I'll list the generators for you. You have G5 in Kotu Power Station. That covers that. And then you also have the Birkama 3 generators. You know, you have Watsila, you know, and then Birkama 1G1. Like I told you, Birkama 1G1 is running. You know, they've provided the maintenance, necessary maintenance is working. Watsila is working, okay? Birkama 3, the maintenance was done.
But the problem, Mr. Ture, here is you have more generators out of service than those in service.
No,
and that's why right now we are
that is why I'm telling you, because you asked on the O&M.
If all these generators were actually maintained, and of course, you know, the spare parts getting in place to make sure they are on standby, we wouldn't have been in this situation. The good thing is that you have all the opportunity. You are importing from Senelec and OMB and other places.
Power generation is very expensive. You cannot spend on spare parts just to stay like that. Your cash flow, you need to work on your cash flow. Cash flow is so important. You know, you cannot tie all your money on spare parts and just keep them. You know, at the end of the day, you need cash to operate as well. You know, so without, not to do that, you know, we have an O&M contract with
but you can maintain your generators and then be using them with Senelec. At some point, you can stop Senelec and use your generators.
You don't need to stop Senelec.
Generators.
I don't mean you stop it permanently.
No, I understand.
But, you know,
the generators came on. They came on. I think you
the
missed
fact
that
is, to be
big
honest
part.
with you, if you ask me, I'll tell you, Nawec just felt so comfortable that yes, we were getting the Senelec.
That's your opinion.
Generators came on.
Exactly.
I give you the statistic on the generators. They came on. But along the line, if we talk about G5, it developed a fault. It broke down on the 15th of May. That was very recent.
Yeah.
How many days ago? This is just about 12 days ago, maybe about 17 days ago, we have the generator out of service. Okay, it was working. You know, we have G7, which has entered into its 24,000 maintenance hour. You know, so we have to sort it down and do the necessary maintenance. You know, okay. Now, if you go, I told you clearly, Birkama 3 G1, in Birkama 3, we have experts coming in. Man experts came to look at that twice in April and May, you know, to fix that. They've ordered a part, you know, the nozzles, which is going to take 8 weeks lead time to get to Gambia here. Okay, so you see, efforts have been put in place for all this.
But Mr. Ture, these generators, they have been out of service for how many?
Almost
I think that's one thing. That's one thing I think no. They've been working.
Yes,
they've been working.
There's one place you are not pointing.
I think you said G8. You said G8 and G6 have been out for 2 years. I agree with that.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
They've been out for 2 years.
More
but these other generators, I'm counting for you. You know, they are operating. You know. Issues that happen are quite very recent issues, and the work is currently being carried out to fix them. You know, and I'm giving you this continuously. You know, starting from Birkama 1, you have G1 running.
So finally, Mr. Baji and Mr. If imports happen to stop tomorrow permanently, where would that leave this country?
No, and I will tell you also that import will never
in case.
No, it's like...
You know, there's a problem. When you say it will never...
No, let me tell you.
Import will not stop. Like I told you, we are going to get out of this. This is a temporary situation. We will get out of it, inshallah. You know, but import would not stop. You know, because our partners also have an obligation. Okay. And they will fulfill that obligation. And if you look at it contractually as it is, now they are fulfilling that obligation contractually. You know, what we need and what we take is the excess, you know, from them. You know, so they are fulfilling the contractual
Are you experiencing the same blackout in your area?
Oh, yes, we are all...
I said I was outside. No, yesterday, just yesterday, light came to my house 4:45 because when it comes, I have the alert from
Is that the case with MD also? It's also everyone.
That one, MD's line is even the worst line.
Okay.
Because he keeps...
How about State House?
No, State House don't go off.
Why?
Because it's connected.
But they also have a standby generator. They have a standby generator.
Let me see.
Standby generator.
No, State House doesn't go off. I wouldn't even, that's not even a hiding. That's an obvious answer. No, it doesn't. But because come on.
I don't know what he is thinking about this.
No.
I don't State House.
But they have a standby generator.
Even if they don't have, that is number one. They call him number one marina. Come on, that number one marina is the highest office now. But then, okay, you know, apart from State, all hospitals are on.
Okay.
We make sure they are on.
It's important.
And then
it's
this we don't compromise.
It's important.
Yeah,
it's
honestly.
Important.
And then I tell Gambians, let's not pray to have the hospitals off.
Exactly.
That's serious. And no matter what, we will not do. Because I have a a relative there. You have everybody. So that is Gambia.
What we categorize as essential services.
Exactly.
We have 37 in number, 20 areas we consider
in
as,
10 seconds time.
We have 20 areas that we feed us that we don't go,
All right.
because they are essential services.
Thank you so much. Sana Toure, Director of Corporate Affairs, and of course, Director of Communication at the National Water and Electricity Company. And Buba Baji, Communications Officer, National Water and Electricity Company. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And we hope this issue will be resolved very soon, because it's causing so much trouble for so many people.
And we are very sorry.
Well,
we apologize.
Exactly. Well, viewers, with that, we bring an end to this week's edition of your weekly State of Affairs program. On behalf of everyone here at QTV, we ask you to remember my colleague, Ansumana Esonyasi, in your prayers as he suffered a serious injury after, of course, due to the blackout. He was out to check out something, and then he was attacked by thieves, and we ask you to keep him in your prayers. We wish him speedy recovery. Well, on behalf of the team, thank you so much for watching. Do join us next week. Until then, bye-bye from me and the entire team. Good night.